Obviously, one of my favorite memories from the concert is the duet I did with Ike. And the funny thing is, a lot of people are saying that that song is really fitting for us. I don't know what any of the lyrics mean, and in actuality that song was a suggestion from Mane-san, and we were just like, yep, that's what we want to do. And it was great. He sort of took the reins when it came to you know, what choreography it was. He said, like, let's be Genki, let's be hype, you know, let's do like a kind of a poppy metal kind of thing. And I just followed him, followed his lead as far as that's concerned, because you know, I just followed his lead because he knows that vibe better than I do, and I just sort of wanted to let him take the reins, and he did a wonderful job. And I heard his cover of Teo as well, which is incredible. I mean, I had never heard that song before, so the only version of it that I've heard is his one, and it is remarkable. It's really, really fantastic. To be serious for a moment, I'm really glad, honestly, because the reason this concert came out now rather than later is essentially because management gave us a little bit of like a what is it? A little bit of like an ultimatum. They said, like, if it's going out at all, it's gonna have to be this month, because, you know, to respect Ike's wishes, I think that it makes sense that, you know, something the last piece of content that we're going to see from him should come out fairly soon after his graduation, so that, you know, his want was to, you know, sort of leave the internet behind, and I think that if it came out much later, it wouldn't really make sense. So, you know, making sure that it came out within a certain time period, I think, was the right choice. And I'm very happy for the children, and I'm very happy for really everybody that the last that we see from Ike is such a spirited, fantastic performance. I mean, everything that he did musically was always brilliant. And the crazy thing about him is that he was always pushing himself, and he was always really intent on trying hard to one-up himself and do more each time. And he was the kind of person where you know, you would hear something that he had done and you would think it's the most amazing thing you'd ever heard, and he would be like, well, I don't know, and it's like, come on, bro, this is insane, this is so good. It's definitely difficult to talk about, because, and I think one of the reasons why I haven't really talked so much about it since, you know, since his graduation, is because I think I'm still kind of grieving myself, you know, and so there's not a lot else that I really want to say, because I'm still sorting through how I feel about everything and processing that. But the main thing to remember is that he very much loved all of his children so much, and was very happy making music, and was very happy, you know, being around you guys and being a part of this whole family. And people struggle sometimes, and I really respect the fact. Sometimes I think about, you know, even though I don't want to, how nice it would be to get away from it all. And I, you know, knowing him as well as I do, I'm very happy that he took a step for himself, and to be, you know, basically just to prioritize himself, because self-care has to come above everything, and for him to put his self-care before anything else makes me very proud. So all I'm glad of is the fact that we had this last little bit, you know, to remind us how incredible of a performer he was, and still is very much. I mean, he's not dead, he's just, you know, somewhere else. And so he is still a fantastic performer, and I'm sure he is, well, I don't know, but, you know, nothing could take his talent away from him. My words probably aren't the best, because I'm still struggling to think of how best to describe how I feel. But he was a fantastic guy, and he was a wonderful friend, and I'm going to miss him very much. I already miss him very much, but more than anything, I respect the fact that he just needed some time, and he needed space to heal from, you know, all kinds of different things, and I'm glad that he's doing that. The nice thing is that, you know, NIJISANJI EN is always growing. There are always people around, and there will always be so many reasons to be excited. It's normal to be sad, but I know that, you know, there will always be a place for everyone here. There will always be a place for you guys to find somewhere to relax, and that's what I want to do my best to maintain. And yeah, Mugen is a very interesting song. Once again, Demon Slayer, an anime that I haven't seen, although I'm sure is brilliant. I mean, I imagine it might be, you know, might be a little personal for me being a demon, but you know, whatever. But I really enjoyed recording for Mugen. That's a song that I didn't particularly struggle with too much, and it just sort of came very naturally to me. We initially divided the lyrics, that I would take Hyde's lyrics and I would take my first story's lyrics, but he did the lyric split and tried his best to divvy it up a little more equally and make sure that we both had exactly the same amount of lines. He was very, very eager. And you know what's so fun is, as you know, Mane-san is my vocal coach and has coached me through a lot of different vocal recordings. And Mane-san is a much better singer than me. But when I recorded the Metal Scream, Mane-san was like, wow, that sounds even better than I can do it. And I was like, yeah! But I still think that I can do better than that. I still think I can do better than that one.